What happens inside your brain when you learn something new? This is our brain, and according to science, brain cells are called neurons. You are born with at least 100 billions of neurons. Dendrites are the fibers grow out of the neurons when you listen to write about, talk about, or practice something. Learning is natural. Neurons know how to grow dendrites, just like a stomach knows how to digest food. Learning is equal to or equivalent to growth of dendrites. New dendrites take time to grow. It takes a lot of practice for them to grow. Here is the connections formed between neurons. When two dendrites grow close together, a contact point is formed. A small gap at the contact point is called the synapse. Messages are sent from one neuron to another as electrical signals travel across the synapse. Practice builds strong connections. Special chemicals called neurotransmitters carry the electrical signal across the synapse. When you practice something, it gets easier for the signals to cross the synapse. That's because the contact area becomes wider and more neurotransmitters are stored there. Practice builds faster connections. When you practice something, the dendrites grow thicker with a fatty coating of myelin. The thicker the dendrites, the faster the signals travel. The myelin coating also reduces interference. Practice builds double connections. With enough practice, the dendrites build a double connection. Faster, stronger double connections last a very long time. You remember what you learned. Short-term memory is very short. If you learn something new and do it only once or twice, the dendrite connection is very fragile and can disappear within hours. Within 20 minutes, you remember only 60%. Within 24 hours, you remember only 30%. But if you practice within 24 hours and then practice again later, you remember 80% of it. Make the most of practice time. You grow dendrites for exactly the same thing you are practicing. If you listen or watch while math problems are solved, you grow dendrites for listening or for watching. If you actually solve the problems yourself, you grow dendrites for solving. The dendrites this toddler is growing are for what skill or concept? What are the most important points for you to remember? So here are the most important points for you to remember. There are 6 major points to remember. The first major point, you are naturally smart because your brain knows how to grow dendrites just like your stomach knows how to digest food. Think about a baby who learned to speak in its native language without any special classes or training. Here is major points number 2. You must do something active. Say for instance, explain, solve, draw, write, or other activities in order to learn because dendrites grow only when you are actively doing something. No one else can grow dendrites for you. The next major point is dendrites cannot grow in a void. New dendrites can only grow off of what is already there. New skills must connect to and grow off previously learned skills. If you do not have the necessary dendrites in place, new material will seem to go right over your head. So start with a math course that matches your skill level. Major points number 4 is dendrites takes time to grow because it takes a lot of practice for dendrites to grow. This is why you do homework. This is why trying to cram everything into your brain the night before a test doesn't work. The next major point is mistakes with feedback are essential and good because making mistakes and getting feedback so you can correct them allows you to check the accuracy of the connections in your brain. Be sure to get feedback quickly so you don't practice the wrong thing and build a strong but wrong connection. The last major point is emotions affect learning and memory.